Good afternoon, everyone. Let me first thank Professor Massimo Fiorucci, Rector of Roma Tre University, Professor Massimo Maria Caneva, Director of the Rome International Seminar for Peace, and all of you, speakers, colleagues, students participating in this session, coming from all around the world, including the rectors and students from universities in the Middle East and the Balkans. Dear friends and dear students, a few days ago we celebrated Italy's National Day for the first time at the United Nations. It was an occasion for reflecting on Italy's deep roots into multilateralism and the role we want to play in it. Next year the UN will celebrate the 80th anniversary, while Italy will be honored to celebrate the 70th anniversary of its membership. Multilateralism is undergoing a very serious stress test. Too many conflicts, great power competition, nationalism, lack of trust among states, unresolved global challenges ranging from inequalities to climate change to digital divide, including the risks posed by the AI. The reality, however, is that to address all these challenges, we need more cooperation, more multilateralism, more UN. No country can do it alone. Multilateralism is not a choice, but a necessity. This was also the powerful message delivered by our head of state, Sergio Mattarella, on the occasion of his recent visit to the UN and address to the General Assembly on May the 7th. Italy is a country that genuinely believes in multilateralism. Italy is the extreme south of Europe, and as such, we regard our role as the one of a bridge between the global north and the global south. Our goal is to further strengthen this bridge and turn it more and more, if possible, into a European bridge. At times of divisions and polarization, we need bridges for dialogue. A more united and geopolitical Europe would be particularly well equipped to play such a role. This is why we need more Europe in New York, but also more UN in Europe to strengthen cooperation and multilateralism. The bottom line is the full respect by all member states of the principles of the Charter and the full respect of international law and international humanitarian law. And here I refer in particular to the ongoing conflicts in Ukraine, Gaza, and Africa. It is going to be impossible to resolve those conflicts unless we return to the basic, namely, as I said, the UN Charter and international law. In Ukraine, the quest for a just peace will require new diplomatic efforts, starting from the conference in Switzerland next week. It will be certainly only a first step. It is, however, clear that Russia's aggression cannot be internationally rewarded. Diplomatic pressure, starting from the UN Security Council, which is discussing in these days a new US draft resolution, will also have to increase to stop the war in Gaza, to avoid a further deterioration of the already dramatic humanitarian situation and prevent a regional spillover of the conflict. The Nexus Peace development is before our eyes, particularly in Africa. The new agenda for peace proposed by the Secretary General Guterres has indicated a new way forward to address conflicts in Africa, a way which focuses on strengthening UN conflict prevention and peace building on the one hand, and on the attribution of a direct role to the African Union to lead peacekeeping operations on the other. Such a new security paradigm will have to be put to a test in the near future. Dear students, the UN is our common home, a home that certainly needs to be restructured and made more democratic and inclusive. This is why Italy supports the many underrepresented regions and the continents, starting from Africa, in their aspiration to have more voices, particularly in the Security Council. It is a home which also needs more resources to be mobilized and spent on the Agenda 2030 for the achievement of the 17 SDGs. Unmet financing needs for SDGs and climate action are estimated to be in the trillions of dollars annually. Friends and students, the future of our planet depends on whether we can guarantee security and prosperity for the large number of people. That goal is still, unfortunately, a long way off. Its achievement requires that we overcome our differences and start thinking bigger in terms of positive sum and not in zero sum. We have to make multilateralism work, starting from the upcoming Summit of the Future, which is going to be a very important test of our common commitment. A pact for the future will be adopted with the ultimate goal of an ambitious and action-oriented stronger cooperation to safeguard the future of coming generations. Each and every one of us, including you, youth, has a role to play. Thank you very much.